Hello everyone, I am Dr. Rogers. Welcome to Physics 102. This is a quick walkthrough of my Canvas class as well as syllabus for Physics 102 in the second 8-week of Fall 2019. So with that said, let's go ahead and get right to it. You signed into Canvas and this is what you see. We have some fun little tabs over here and we have some links right here and links right here. Let's go ahead and start clicking on these things. About your instructor, quick little blurb about me. Best way to get in touch with me is to shoot me an email. That's on the syllabus quiz, by the way. And I do have a phone here on campus. It is a landline. Please don't try to text it. But more often than not, I am over in the lab. Again, shoot me an email. My office is 216 of Science and Health Profession Building, and just because you're taking an online class does not mean that you can't swing on by. In fact, I think we learned a lot in that face-to-face time that we have, so I highly encourage you to swing on by and talk to me. You're also welcome to do the labs over in the physics lab. Let's click on the homepage again, and we'll go ahead and take a look at the syllabus. You can actually access the syllabus two different ways. You can use this tab right here. I personally like to use this guy right here because it's going to show you some really cool things like due dates and stuff like that. So you can kind of see here's when stuff is due, and we can access it right here. I'll come back there onto this in a little bit. And you can kind of see pretty much, with the exception of the syllabus quiz, that everything is more or less due on Monday. I've kind of have the tests alternating about every other week, and then I have homeworks due on the opposite week. So we'll click on this bad boy right here, open it up, and we'll lead off with a pretty standard VCCS description of physics. We did all the mechanics in Physics 101. In Physics 102, we're going to start off by talking about mechanical waves, electricity, magnetism, electromagnetic waves, and then some quantum mechanics. Again, office, phone, best way to get in touch with me is through email. My lectures are voice over PowerPoint online lectures. If you've taken me online for Physics 101, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. If you took me face-to-face, I also had lecture links in case you missed a class. This is more or less the lectures for my online classes. I will note that in the interest of keeping the time lengths kind of short, I shot for about 10 minutes, 10-15 minutes per video. I tend not to repeat myself so awful much. In the face-to-face classes, if something was important, I'd say it like 5 or 10 times. In the videos, I'll say it like maybe 2 times. So you may have to go back and watch them a second time. Textbook, same textbook that I've used for all of my Physics 101 classes, and I have a Amazon link for it somewhere on Canvas. I'll show you where that is. This is in a fully online class. It's up to you to make sure your computer is good to go and you have wireless and stuff like that. Please do take notes. What I found is if you write something down, you're more likely to remember it. And also, please do swing by. I think we learned so much face-to-face, and if you want a face-to-face class, please email the dean and say, listen, I had to take 102. Dr. Rogers was fantastic, but I would love face-to-face because she needs to hear that. Labs. The labs are all online simulations through a whole bunch of different websites. One thing I will note is the Java labs tend to be kind of finicky. They're not going to work on a Mac. Chromebooks, but they're kind of iffy. For those Java labs, I do have YouTube videos of me doing the lab, so that way you can kind of watch me doing the lab and actually complete the lab in case you can't get it to work. I give you the opportunity to submit labs twice, and I'll average the 2 grades. The reason for that is because if we were doing this face-to-face, I'd be swinging around saying, do you have any questions? Do you have any questions? Do you have any questions? And you are free to email me with any questions as you go through the lab if you have difficulty completing it. But sometimes people just like to turn it in and hope for the best. So if you get it to me within 48 hours of the due date, then I will get back to you and say, hey, you might want to rethink this. You might want to do this. I do average the 2 grades, so if you submit like half of a lab, well, yeah, that's not good. Homework is through Canvas. It's multiple choice. I'll show you exactly where that is. I will note that you get 2 attempts for the homework. It will tell you which ones you got wrong, so your second attempt better be better than the first. It will take the higher of the 2. It does show you the solutions after the due date, so I don't accept late homework submitted through Canvas because, well, you can kind of get the answers. There's no reason why you can't get 100% on the homework because you certainly ask me through email or in person, and I'll gladly help you. In fact, I'd rather help you and have you get it right for the right reasons than to randomly get it wrong. I do have 5 quizzes scattered throughout the semester just to not beat you up, but just to make sure that you're digesting the material and the test doesn't have its beastly way with you. I do have a time limit on those to kind of simulate the test environment, and I don't accept late quizzes. It does show you the answers to the quiz after the due date. 4 tests scattered throughout the semester, about 30-ish questions or so each, and they cover 3 or 4 chapters of material. The test number 4 is not cumulative. It just covers the stuff from past, or from the last little block. 936 points for grabs up in the class. I don't accept late tests, by the way. And you do have 50 minutes to complete it. The reason why I have the time limit is because you could probably Google your way through it if I gave you unlimited time. And I've never had a face-to-face student take more than like 30 minutes to take my 102 tests. So I figured 50 minutes was more than sufficient. Standard A, B, C, or D. Can't really miss class in an online class, but don't try to turn stuff in late and turn stuff in. You don't have to be nice to my equipment because it's all simulations and it's your computers. If you, academic honesty, say it's me and me only. If you want to do this class for honors credit, you may. If you have a disability form, get it to me as soon as possible. Tell me what you need and I'll make it work for you. And here's the schedule. I don't really anticipate having to change the schedule because online classes are not going to have snow dates or anything like that. So let's see, the first day of classes is I think October 15th. Do a syllabus quiz. It's due by 11:59 on that Thursday. Again, after that, everything else is due on Mondays. So we're going to have chapters 19, 20, 21, and quiz number 1 due on October 24th at midnight, and these labs are due. The next Monday there is a test, and that gives you some time to digest all this material, take a look at the homework answers, take a look at the quiz answers, and then a week after that we're going to have this little block due. Here we have that test, then we have some labs, and then we have a test, and then we have some labs, and then we have a test. Please don't wait until the last minute to do it because you don't want to be trying to knock out 6 labs in like an hour before they're actually due. And again, I don't accept stuff, homeworks, quizzes, labs, or anything like that late. So that's everything I wanted to say for the syllabus. If you have any questions, please do let me know. How do we access things? Well, you can access things any number of ways through Canvas. Let me go ahead and finish clicking on the course materials. If you want an Amazon link to the textbook, then you could go right here. So click on that bad boy. Of course, you can get it through the bookstore, but who goes to bookstores anymore? Then we can go ahead, and this link right here does not work because it was just confusing. These two, they're probably in every class that you have, so I'm not going to bother clicking on them. Let's go ahead and click on chapter 19. This is the lecture for chapter 19. Here you have this guy right here so that we could print out slides if you wanted to write on them or have a view on them. So these are the slides that I'm going to talk to. This lecture was all about vibration and waves. And if we come back right here, you can click on this and we can watch the lecture in YouTube. Turn the sound off so I don't blast you. And you can essentially hear my wonderful voice going blah, 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 blah to these slides. Now, just some advice, take notes. It really does help to take notes just like you would in a regular, ordinary, everyday face-to-face lab or class. And I personally prefer to watch YouTube at a little bit faster than normal. I like to watch it at 2x, and that way I can pause it and take notes when I want to. Just kind of some advice. Again, I split the chapter up into 2 little segments right here, about 10-15 minutes each. Anything more than that, you really don't have the attention span, at least I don't. Some chapters I did have to split up into 3 little 10-minute videos. I think one of them I even hit 4. But I did try to keep it to 2 because your time is valuable, just like mine is. Now to access when the assignments are due, you can access that any number of ways. My personal preference is the syllabus guy right over here. We can access the homework, we can access the quizzes, and we can access the labs. You could also access them through the assignment tabs. And I just think this is less pithy and more confusing, so you can kind of see when stuff is due. If I were to click on chapter 19 homework, both links are going to take you right here. You can see there's no time limit on this guy. We got 10 questions worth 1 point each, and I'm allowed to have 2 attempts at it. So we can go ahead and take the quiz, and you can see the questions over here. And I'm just going to randomly click on a couple of these guys, and if I get one right, then hey, you got the answer for, and you go ahead and take it. I submitted it, it yells at me because I didn't select all of them, and it's going to say, okay, well, I got 1 out of 10. I got this one wrong. I got that one right. I got that one wrong, and obviously I got all the other ones right. So I can go back and do another attempt at it if I wanted to, and I highly recommend you do. Don't throw away points. I'll go to the quiz from the syllabus tab because, well, why not? So we can go here, hit the quiz, and it's going to say time limit of 15 minutes. It's got 5 questions worth 4 points each. Don't click on this until you're ready to take it. Bear in mind the timer does start ticking and it does not stop. If you click on this link and then you close the browser, then in about 15 minutes it's going to auto submit for that, and you probably don't want to be there. You could also access this through the quizzes tab, but this is my least favorite tab. We can access the test right here as well. You can see 99 points, 33 questions. And if we click on this, it's going to say 99 points, 33 questions, 33 points, 33 questions worth 3 points each. Time limit of 50. Again, the clock starts ticking when you click on it, and even if you close the browser, then the clock is still ticking. Now we can go ahead and go to the syllabus here. I think the grades tab is pretty straightforward. I'm not going to talk to that for you, but I do want to talk to submitting things right here. I can click on this lab right here, and I do have a lab introduction. Just like I give an introduction in a face-to-face class where I say, hey, this is the lab, this is what you're going to do. I have a video of me kind of going through that. We have the lab either in document form or PDF, totally up to you on how you want it. So here I've got this guy right here, and I double-clicked on it. It says, okay, here's what you're going to do. You're going to click on this link. It's going to take you there. If it asks you a question, sketch a graph. Fill the table out. You probably know me. If it has a question mark, you're not going to leave that blank. So here I'll show you really quickly the blurb of me going through the lab, and then I'll pretty much turn you loose and let you go. So here's an introduction for this lab right here, and I'm going to say, okay, click on this link, and we're going to work our way with what you should see. Highly recommend watching these because it'll give you kind of some pointers for what you want to see. Something to bear in mind is these are all simulations, and all simulations are perfect. You're not going to get much error, and the simulation is going to behave exactly the way you would expect. If you get horrible results, if you get like a percent error that's like 1,000%, something bad happened. Don't turn that in. Go back and try to find out where the bad thing happened, or send me an email, even send me the lab if you want, and I'd much rather you get the right answer for the right reasons. That's where we actually learn. Now, how do we go ahead and submit the lab? So you've gone ahead and you've done the lab. You're going to click on this little submit assignment, and we're going to choose a file. And I can go ahead and say, okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and I've filled this thing out, and I can submit the lab. I can say, hi, Dr. Rogers, how you doing? And I can hit submit assignments. Wait until it gives you a confirmation that says, hey, you actually submitted it. And if you wanted to submit a second attempt, you can resubmit it. You're going to see some comments. I'm going to mark this thing up. This one, obviously, I can't mark myself up, but I will leave you comments. I tend to underline important things. I put check marks, X's, and stuff like -1. With that said, I think I have covered everything I wanted to cover. I am opening up this class extra early because it is a second 8-week class, and this gives you some more time to finish it. I know that 8 weeks is rather tight, and I'd rather give you more time, so I'm going to open up this class relatively shortly. I'm going to post this video right here in the announcements tab. It's going to not say Blackboard anymore. That's when I copied this thing over. I wish you the best of luck. Please do swing by, say hi, give me a call, but yet shoot me an email, and good luck in Physics 101.